You applied for the MEDC I-40 grant, and when you got the grant, um, she said you were very surprised. But I don't want to. I want you to tell me what your feelings were when you realized you got the grant.
um, well, I guess you stated the one feeling was surprise. Uh, More or less, kind of ecstatic over it, really. Um, we've tried for a lot of different things here and there where there's help and support and there's a lot of dead end roads out there, and there's a lot of, we can help you, and it's almost minimal. So, to hear someone's going to give you 25 grand is kind of, I don't know, it is hard to believe, I guess. So, and it's a game changer for us. I mean, because then we brought in the automation, and it's like basically 50% cost. I mean, it's something like that. I mean, if it didn't happen, I probably never would have even made the jump yet.
Oh, that's great. So get specific. When you say the automation, what does that mean? What did you actually purchase with the $50,000 of which you got 25 back?
Yeah, so it's a cobot that will do machine tending. So it will load and unload a CNC machine.
Okay, and without that, then you wouldn't be able to, in your words again, you were saying make the change. The change, what, to be more automated? Is that right?
Yeah, well, this is basically our first step in automation. So
Ah, and so is this like saving you money, increasing productivity, workflow? Describe what it's doing.
yeah, this is increasing machine uptime, and this is creating machine runtime without an operator.
Oh, okay. So it's saving you money for sure, and then making you more productive, I would assume, right?
Yes.
Okay. Well, that's exactly what it's supposed to do, right? Now, let me also ask you. Now, I've been working on the research for this story since December. So, but I run a couple other businesses, or like you, I'm kind of, I have to kind of sandwich it in where I can find the time. Um, and we're right down to the end now. Got 2,500 words already written, and I haven't even done the sidebars. So you're actually going to be the lead to the main story because we're going to talk about the impact of what this program, and I know it's an experimental program on the MEDC's part. However, there's a lot of things we've discovered going along the way. For instance, um, were you real familiar with what you wanted to buy before you bought it, or did the MEDC or did the MGA help you pick out what you needed to get to improve your productivity?
Um, no, as far as that goes, I knew what I wanted beforehand.
Okay, because a lot of the issues we're running into is the tier twos and threes don't even know what technology they need to improve whatever it is they're trying to improve. So I was just curious. So, but you already knew pretty in advance what you wanted with the money then.
Yes,
And without that 50, without the 25K match, then you wouldn't have been able to afford it on your own. Did I get that correct?
correct.
Okay. Elizabeth, you can unmute whenever you want if you want to weigh in. So,
Well, I think that Neil's example and Tritegrity and Ironwood it's just a great example of what we're seeing all around the state with our manufacturers. And Neil, I love that you said you were ecstatic, and that's really what it seemed like when you called me. It was really one of the highlights for me of administering this grant in the last year, because I could really tell that you knew this was going to be a game changer for your business. And so I'm just thrilled to hear it and to capture your story, because the MEDC really is making a big difference around the state. And it's been difficult to tell the story of small business. So your example is an excellent one.
Yeah. Um, well, a lot of that is it's cool that you feel it as kind of as much as I do, because I can tell that you're pretty passionate about what you do, and um, you know that doesn't go unnoticed from me, and I can't explain the appreciation that I have for you. Um, and kind of a little side story of this, Mike, is I've been so busy, I'm kind of lack the diligence of getting this done just on an instantaneous time frame. And Elizabeth reached out and was like, "Hey Neil, can you get off your ass and get something done here and get me this application?" And I said, "Yeah, I'll do that." So I then asked her when the date would be for the decision, and she told me the date, and I had it marked on the calendar, and I was basically watching my email every minute of the day, just waiting. And sure enough, I get the greetings 4.0 grant awardees. So yeah, it's pretty amazing. So I pretty much have to give about 99% of this credit to Elizabeth for making it happen.
Okay, I'll note that in the story. So, then now that I'm surprised you're not in auto, but being way up in Ironwood, I mean, there isn't a lot of auto up there to begin with. And when I was a newspaper reporter in Seattle, I covered Weyerhaeuser, so I'm pretty familiar with the paper industry. But yeah, that's great. And I mean, by being more efficient and saving and having a cobot do the work of a person, do you think it's gonna? Because one of the big things of the MEDC is they're always looking to create jobs. That's their big mantra. Do you think because of this, you're going to be able to expand a little bit, maybe hire a couple more people? What do you think?
Yeah, for sure. We'll be able to add people. One of the huge misconceptions is that automation replaces people, but it doesn't replace people. It just reallocates their time and their ability and the brain power. Whereas, automation is not brain power. And you still need people to, these need to be set up, they need to be programmed, they need to be, the whole system needs to be robust and it needs to be reliable. And it can't run one or two parts and then fail and fault out, and this happens 10 minutes after we're out the door. Everything needs to click, and in order for that to happen, you need the good people to make sure the whole system is bulletproof. um it would never replace people. um no way. And I know a lot of people fear that. So what it's doing is, it's number one, it's opening up opportunities to better serve our customers. And in the end, that's just going to put more work in the shop and make us more apt to need more people.